So there's two versions of the tissue holder. There's the open bottom and there's the closed bottom. So I did the open bottom version in this size of tissue. I'm going to do the closed bottom in this size of tissue. Now you can see here, I had my faux leather a little too close to the edge of the mat and I didn't have it taped down and it got folded a little bit. So I just stopped it. It had at least cut half the file. And then what I did to salvage what was left is I just folded it over and I cut the remainder by myself. Most of it had cut properly. It was just a little bit in here that got missed. So the first thing is we're gonna take the key ring. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna use a clip to help. So the key ring, I want it upright and a little bit away from the top because I don't want too much strain there. So I'm gonna fold this right sides together. I'm just gonna use the one clip to hold where I have the key ring. I'm gonna go to the machine. I'm gonna stitch down both sides, lining this up, of course. It won't be stitch down both sides. I'll back tack at both ends so that I don't have to worry about the stitching coming loose. And I will keep my stitch length no less than 2.5. I'll be right back once that's complete. Okay, so I have both sides closed. I'm at about 1/8 of an inch, in between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. Now the next step is to close these corners. So you just open it up and you're gonna stitch across on both sides. And you might want to put a clip just to hold it. I like to have my seam allowance pointing the same way for both sides. So I'll come back once that's stitched closed. So the ends are sewn, both sides, again back tacking at both ends so that it doesn't start to come open there. And it's a 2.5 inch, 2.5 stitch length. That's about 2.5 millimeters. My kids are getting a little wild upstairs. So this leather is a little old and it looks like there's a little bit of a slit there. So you can see that pack fits in there nicely and I can see roughly how much space I have to work with for the snap. So this leather is a little bit thinner. It's not as strong as the last one I was using, so I'm going to use a different type of snap, but my placement is going to be about 3/8 of an inch down and in the center, and then 3/8 of an inch down and in the center there. So I will get those markings, get my tools all ready, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I have my markings here and I'm just going to place the snaps in here. That one's stuck in there. So this one, it's the same backing for both sides, so it doesn't really matter which way you do it, but I'm going to do it so that the button is the top piece. So button face up, then the points pointing in. I'm going to line up right there and just clamp down. Oh, my lock is hooked on there. So there's the snap there. Now the bottom, I have to make sure that the clip side's in. So you can see the ring where the prongs from the backing need to slide into. So I want that ring facing the same as the prongs so that they can attach together. I'm going to turn it because my marking is on this side, so I have to line it up right there. And I like to just shift my clamps a few times. And there we have the tissue holder with the closed bottom. And it just snaps shut. You've got your key ring. If you want, you can throw a grommet in there. You can feed it in a little bit further so there's a bit more of the grommet to catch to make it a little bit more secured, but it's pretty secure. Some fun little projects. They're quick, easy. You can do coordinated pieces where you could pair this with the lip gloss holder. You could even loop the lip gloss holder on the same key ring as the tissue holder. Have a lot of fun with those projects and have them all matching. So if you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. It's a big help. And if you're interested in these Cricut files, they are available on my Etsy shop. You'll find the listing below in the description. Have a great day.